Okay, so I want to show you guys how to set up a grid for this low poly baby Yoda. So in Illustrator, if you go up to Illustrator, Preferences, go up to Guides and Grid. Right now I have my grid set up for every 0.5 inches, subdivided by 8, which is pretty good. But if you want a little bit more detail, sometimes I'll set this up for 12 or 16. And let's do it for 16 so we get a little bit more detail, but we'll click OK. And you can go to View, Show Grid, or you can hit Command quote or Command quote again to turn it on and off. And so now we have our baby Yoda. I already have a bunch of layers set up for these different artboards that I have. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a new layer so we can just demonstrate not where I want that. I'll put that on top. And then we can close all this. We can hide a lot of this stuff. Let's go this, then hide. Uh-oh, there we go. There is our baby Yoda grid for the low poly design. That grid's really small. If you feel that's really intimidating, let's go back up here and go to Preferences again and go to Guides and Grid. And we'll set this up for 12. That should give you a little bit bigger grid pattern. The next thing I want to do is make sure that my snap to grid, which is already set, is check marked to the left. There's a shortcut, Command Shift apostrophe. And then so with your new layer, make sure you have your new layer selected. I'll just call this a new baby Yoda. And with your pen tool off to your on your tools panel, sometimes I like to drag this around, that way I can move it as I'm kind of working through my artwork. You can use the pen tool by selecting P on the keyboard or simply selecting this icon, which looks like a calligraphy pen. I'm going to zoom in because I really want to make sure that I kind of honor like the shape and aspect of Baby Yoda. So this will snap the grid. So when you click on a grid spot, like a grid cross section, it will kind of snap to it. Versus if you go to View and turn the grid off, it will kind of be more free flow. This makes it a lot easier to kind of. This is my low poly hack to making this project a little bit easier. Let's go back to View, snap the grid, and then let's find some grid points. You might notice that it's filling up with a fill color, but we can always fix that as we start to lose our baby Yoda here. I'm trying to make as like the least amount of anchor points as possible, but also still kind of maintaining the integrity of the portrait or composition. Let's kind of stop around here. Sometimes I just trace out let's just get into this section right here. We'll cut Baby Yoda's little mug off. Sorry, Baby Yoda, you can't have coffee today. Let's get into this section right here. I know we're starting to lose Baby Yoda, but that's fine. Keep going. Snap to grid, click. That's kind of a small area, but that's fine. We don't have to get every single detail on the low poly design. Let's go back right here, and now we've lost Baby Yoda's face. So to get his face back, we are going to, with this selected, you can use the direct selection tool, or I'm sorry, the selection tool, which is the black arrow. And now you have a grid. Sometimes I like to kind of outline some of the main features. Obviously his eyes are a main feature. Or Grogu is his name. Sorry, Grogu, don't mean to dishonor you. Command Shift A will deselect. I don't know what just happened to my madness right there, but let's see if we can find it. Hit Command Z, there we go. I'm gonna use the eyedrop tool so I can get this stroke color back and go back to the pen tool. I just simply clicked on the pen tool, didn't push P on the keyboard. Here we go with the next eye. And there you go. So now this sets up a good spot for you to kind of start working on his face. I'm going to add a couple more things. I'm not going to speed up this this lesson just to show you all these keystrokes, but I'm just going to set this in here so you guys know that makes it a little bit easier if you just have the grid set up and keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm hitting the space bar to be able to grab the artboard. And we'll stop right there. So Command Shift A. Now we have this grid in place. Let's do one more thing. We're gonna go here, here, here. Let's do one more, and then there. Now we can start doing our low polys. The next step for this is doing the low polys. Like after you've had this whole entire image kind of outlined with the grid, now we can start creating these triangles. And I just kind of find like spots that haven't been used yet. You notice that there's triangles being made. I call them polygons because you never know what you're gonna get with this solution right here. If you hold Shift, it'll create a straight line, but now I'm gonna kind of work around this section with my grid. At this point, you guys should be able to create these angles. The next step would be to like kind of do your entire design like this. If you get an anchor point that doesn't want to give you a new anchor point, hold Shift, and then you can create a new anchor point. But you notice that I kind of make this so it's more of a polygon project versus just being straight triangles like David Gareth. A lot of times you will end up with triangles if you connect all the points and start reaching for other points. Let me know if you have any questions. This is a really fun project. It's challenging, it's difficult, there's a lot of steps, but it's manageable and the results are pretty amazing once everything's done.